Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Yeah, so far in California right now, it's a pretty nice day out. We have people walking around. We just had a very small patch of rain that just happened, and I don't know. I was kind of thankful the fact that I don't know. I think this month has been just a month of like sunshine, which is really nice. If you live in California, you would know that typically that's the type of weather that we have in LA, and it's nice. But every so often, when we get a brisk of rain coming, it just makes it that much more, I guess, appreciative, rewarding. Because we don't get rain often unless certain rainy seasons, but I think we've already passed the majority of the rainy season in California. It's usually around the springtime, which is like March to April, March to early May. But we're now in June, and yeah, it's kind of nice um, to feel different, um, and yeah, everyone's out on their hot girl, hot boy walk, which you love to see, just because I feel like everyone nowadays just kind of exists on the internet, or they're very routine where you go to work, come back from work, you eat, you rest, you watch TV, and then you get ready for the next day. So somebody just scraped their car, but hey, that's a Tesla, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. The topic I want to talk about today is about red flags, and yeah, I feel like nowadays, in the current time and age, everyone talks about red flags, right? When it comes to dating, when it comes to even friendship, there's a lot of red flags being tossed around, just the word red flag, and I've always kind of just not sat too right with red flags, just because I feel like it's a very all in type of lens at looking at a person, and yeah, it's quite generalized how people talk about red flags, and I think that to know that certain behavior or certain traits are worth watching out for is a good thing. But I think to completely cancel someone out because of their past behaviors, it's kind of a messed up thing to do. It's kind of like I was doing my 10,000 step walk yesterday. I don't do 10,000 step walk. I only brought it up because I only done it once, and I want to share that with you guys. That I was kind of having an epiphany of while I was thinking about red flag and dating and etc. And just out of just out of tangent, I am looking to date again on the apps. It's pretty interesting. But besides that, like I said, I was going on my walk, just thinking about red flags, and it kind of came to me that, like, the modern world, right, look at red flags as kind of like a death penalty for your reputation. And what I mean by that is that, like, if you done something and other people know, and they spread that rumor about you, like, you're kind of doomed, right? You're kind of doomed from like a you're kind of doomed or off access to a part of the demographic that now associate you with this red flag. And it's kind of unfair because I think most of the time people just kind of announce these red flags or kind of like assign you these red flags that's really out of context. And I think red flags are just being tossed loosely on people. And I just think that people shouldn't do that. But I think as society, it's hard to kind of go against the grain of what's popular. And this is one of those things where sometimes I'll see like my red flag is this: don't interact with me or don't engage with me if you're this quality type of person, or like, the one that I've heard most recent is like the nonchalant, right? The people on the internet, the nonchalant guy is now under the fire of the internet. The nonchalant guy is now under the internet fire. And when it comes to dating, sorry guys, I'm gonna stop the video just because there's a huge helicopter flying by. Sorry, I'm back. So the helicopter was really loud. I had to stop during the recording. But back to the discussion. Yeah, the red flag is kind of like this modern scarlet letter. If you guys are raised in the U.S. education, I'm sure you guys have read or learned about the Salem witch trial. It's basically, I don't want to get into it, but I feel like the red flag is the modern scarlet letter, right? It's a letter of shame, of who you are by your past action, and now the people on the internet just kind of eat you out for what you've done in the past. And I've even have some friends that are very cutthroat about friendships because so and so did this to another person, and I totally get it. It's it's some of these things that people have done are very unforgivable, and it's tough to sometimes to sit down and have those discussions after being hurt or being hurt by it or out of it. It's tough. But I as I was thinking about how the world will shame you and try to make you wear your badge of shame, it kind of got me thinking about God and what He does with our mistakes, right? Because we're people, we're bound to make mistakes in life, and there's no avoiding that. But those mistakes that we make when we're younger, when we're later on, or whenever we make it in life, they transform us, right? They transform us. They make us a better person for society. And sometimes it's the natural rewards and punishments, right? When you exist in a society, you're bound to get both of the ends. And like I said, it kind of gave me thoughts about God and how awesome God is, because like I said, He uses our past and He transforms us. He disciplines us. He uses the bad in us and overcomes it with the good. right, of who he is. And over time, we are shaped and morphed and pruned into who he is as I get closer in this Christian walk. And I know that maybe to some of you guys it's like, what is this guy yapping about? I'm just trying to draw a contrast of what the world is and how the world treats you and how God treats me whenever I make a mistake. You know, the world will hold you accountable for your past, but God forgives us for our mistakes. Right? God doesn't hold us to the identity of our actions, of our past, but the world does. God welcomes us in with open arms, even though we've done some effed up things in the past. He doesn't look at us and say, you know what, because you did this, you do not deserve to be in my presence. You do not deserve a second chance. But no, God isn't like that. He is generous. He is kind. He's forgiving. You know, one of the things that I tell players in tennis whenever they make a bad shot, right? And I say, hey, be a goldfish, right? I think that I heard that expression from my coach. Be a goldfish, which means to forget what just happened and just continue to match with a brand new mental slate. And I think as people, it's truly impossible to have a mental blank slate for each other, but God can do that because he's God and because of who he is. You know, that I've been forgiven of my crummy things in the past, and we're not perfect people, and I think that's kind of where I want to end this video of just a reminder of his goodness onto my life. And and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and hopefully some of these videos have sparked some discussions, maybe some thoughts, because that's what I mainly want to do with my videos, is kind of drop little seeds of realizations of the things I've come to understand through my own thoughts and my experience. But as always, guys, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.